Oh, Facebook and YouTube fans of DX Engineering, it is Tuesday afternoon, time for Tuesdays with DX Engineering. And this is a show where we bring on various people from the DX Engineering team, and we got lots of them, and they all have a story to tell. And today we have on one of our great influencers. It's Michael, KI8R. What do you know, Michael? What do you got there?
Tim, this is a Flex 8600, 8600M, and it's a heck of a radio.
Well, tell us all about it.
All right. Well, this is a HF radio. It has 4 slices in it, which means that you can listen to 4 different bands or 4 different parts of bands or a mixture thereof at the same time. You can control it from the face of the radio. You can control it from your computer. I can control it from my smartphone, my iPad. It's really cool.
So, Michael, tell us some of the other features of the radio. Point out some of the things that you really like.
So, I think the one thing that surprised me the most about this radio, in particular, is how much I like using it through the computer interface on my desktop, which really surprised me. I never thought I would like that. I mean, I've been in this hobby for 45 plus years. I've had knobs and buttons my entire life, and clicking with a mouse and moving around is when I first started, it was totally foreign to me, but I took to it, like, for lack of a better term, a duck to water. And it was just an amazing experience, and it was a lot of fun, and I just had a good time playing with it. And I'm going to hate to send it back.
So, Michael, let's talk about what bands that covers, and tell us about the power output, and how do you like the receiver?
So let's talk about it a little more. The Flex basically is 160 through 6 meters, like most HF radios today. It's 100 watts, and it has, all the features you would expect. Built-in antenna tuner, which is good, around 3-to-1. You can listen to 2 receivers at the same time here. If you want to do more than that, you can hook it up to your computer. But just all the things that you would expect. One really cool thing about this particular box is the way you can control it from multiple computers at the same time. And they use this thing called DAX. And basically what it does, it sets up individual COM ports for different items on the radio. So that is really cool. I'm not going to get into it. Mike Walker, VA3MW at Flex, did a really awesome video on that if you want to dig into that. He's way more of an expert than I am. You can hook up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3 different keying items that you would have to do. So you could hook up a couple of amplifiers to it, an NCC2, all kinds of different things, all at the same time. And so that's really cool. It has GPS built into it. It comes with a GPS external antenna, just all kinds of different things. Receiver inputs, receive antenna inputs, everything.
A lot of times, Michael, we get asked, I'm not familiar with Flex. How do I know if I'm going to like it? Is there a lot of reading I have to do? I mean, how thick is the manual? I mean, how hard is it? Were you able to plug and play?
No, it's not a plug and play radio. And I think for most people, it would not be a plug and play radio, but it's not a difficult radio to learn. And there's a big community in the Flex world that can help you. Flex was very supportive of me when I first put this radio on the air, because I had some questions. I needed to reset the radio back to 0 and back to factory settings, and they helped me get that done. I loaded the latest firmware. That's another thing about this radio. They're constantly updating the firmware. And in some cases, that's like getting a new radio. You're not going to get that with a regular box radio. So that is really cool.
And so, you talk about this IO group feedback forum where you can get lots of help from other Flex owners. Um, how big is that? I mean, that support mechanism. I mean, are there really smart guys that'll spend the time?
There's a lot of smart guys there and a lot of guys that have been using Flex for years and know it inside and out. So you can absolutely find help and find it usually in a hurry.
Well, that's really good, and maybe a quick start guide where, part of the deal is when the new radio comes via UPS or FedEx, you want to take it out of the box, plug it in, and get on the air and work somebody. Is there a quick start?
So I was able to, once I got the new firmware installed and just started playing around with it, plugged a CW key into it that afternoon. I literally was on the air within an hour and a half, even with a couple of stumbling blocks that I ran into. And most people won't run into those. This was a special case, but but honestly, I was on the air in an hour and a half or so and working guys on CW and just having fun.
So let's talk about one of the most popular modes right now, of course, is FT8, FT4. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of DXpeditions that are working multiple streams and so forth. How about the Flex? How does that handle FT8?
So if you're doing an 8600, for example, the Flex, this particular radio will give you up to four different streams. You could literally have 4 different instances of WSJTX running at the same time on different bands and working guys.
So it's crazy. A powerhouse when it comes to FT8.
Absolutely.
Now the big question is, Michael, this 8600 that you've got there, and it's a mm-hmm. beautiful radio. Mm-hmm. We got the Aurora that is now out. It's in guys' hands.
Yep.
We're going to start selling it here at DX Engineering really soon as all the back orders get caught up. Mm-hmm. What about the 8600 versus the Aurora?
So the 8600 versus the Aurora, the Aurora is basically either an 8400 and an 86 or an 8600 with 500 watts. And so, but it's an extremely efficient amplifier. It doesn't get really hot. And, you could literally, like at Dayton last year, they literally put a key down on the brick on the key and just let it sit there and run all day long. And it never got hot. And so, you remember back in the day when Alpha used to do that, back in the 80s, and that was really cool. So, but this radio won't get hot, or the Aurora won't. And by the way, will you send me one when you get it?
Well, I think you're pretty high on the list, and we're all excited to see the Aurora, and we've had great presentations about it, and certainly it is a game changer because of the Class D and the low power consumption and 500 watts right in a box. And so, and it was, I was at a meeting last night when they were talking about Desecheo, and the Desecheo radios in a box are built with Flex radios.
Yep.
So, and the front end GUI display is just phenomenal with those Flex radios.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really good. And again, there's a learning curve, but once you cross over, it just makes a lot of sense.
And, you talk about a hostile environment, at least from heat and humidity. Mm-hmm. The 2 Flex radios that are doing the Desecheo operation, the Kilo Papa 5, they're running, when they're on the air, they're running full out, and they haven't had any radio trouble. So that speaks to the durability. What about warranty and service, Michael, with Flex? What I've been hearing from customers is so far so good. What do you hear?
I'm hearing everything good. I think there's some hams that get overwhelmed, but honestly, if you spend some time with it, you'll be fine. And the warranty, Flex is really awesome with that. And so if there were to ever be a problem, they're going to take care of you.
Well, and that's real important when you're investing this kind of money a piece of radio equipment, especially if you're buying new. And I know that over the last few months that we've been selling Flex, things have been great. And the relationship between Flex and DX Engineering has been quite good. I do want to go into the chat room. It's a good group in here today. X-Ray Echo 2 Zulu Zulu is in. And Ray, November 3 Alpha Queen. And November 3 India Whiskey, one of these days. And of course, our good friend Dawn, Whiskey Juliet 3 United. And the sun isn't even up yet. And Chris is on from Melbourne, Australia, Victor Kilo 3 Fox Yankee. And so, Michael, you have to put this back in the box, right? I mean, you only have this Flex here for a short while.
Yeah, I know. That's the downside of working here. I have to give things back.
But Michael, I know that you're working on some additional videos, and wow, what a treasure trove you've done, and your new studio. Wow, first class.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This was my wife's idea. I'm going to give her all the credit.
It is beautiful, and we're going to have you one of these shows give a tour of all the radios that you have in the shelving behind you. But Michael, as soon as this weather breaks, I'm hoping you're going to do some video work outside.
I am all about that. And, I've got an RSEAV1 that needs to get put up and do some work with that and some videos with that. And I just need the ground to stop being frozen so I can drive a ground rod.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, that's a very powerful antenna, and I'm using the RSAV1 on my HAMSI personal space weather station, and it works fabulous. And I can't wait to have your analysis of how it compares to other antennas, and that's going to be really, really good, very solid. I see Jimmy's on Kilo Bravo 8 November. He wants a Flex amp. The PGXL is a really good amplifier. And of course, a lot of guys say super things about that solid state amplifier. And then our friend from the radio bookstore, it's Craig Clark, K1 Queen X-Ray, also a D-Expeditioner. And then we've got N3IW says, yes, please do a video on the RSAV1. I am considering that for next year. We hear you loud and clear. And we've got, let's see, for Whiskey Oscar 8 Uniform Sierra Alpha, just bought a Chameleon SS25. Thanks for your help. DX Engineering is #1. So lots of great antennas that we have at DX Engineering. And oh, by the way, if you're thinking about an amplifier before Bouvet comes on, you better get your amplifier. DX Engineering has more amplifier choices than any other company on the planet. And Michael, when Bouvet's on, you're going to want an amplifier.
Absolutely. And I have just that. So I will definitely be beating up that tube.
Well, that's great. Michael, thanks so much for coming on today. I know you do a lot of work on videos, but that is great because they go into the DX Engineering YouTube channel. They get on the DX Engineering site, but you also are on the phone and on email with customers and helping diagnose problems, answering questions. And I really appreciate all you do for our customers.
Well, and I enjoy being here. This is by far the best job I've ever had.
Well, and we're glad to have you and the rest of the team on the team. And if you have any questions, you can always email us, dxengineering@dxengineering.com. And don't forget our DX Engineering blog, onallbands.com. onallbands.com. Go there and you'll see articles from Michael and from hams all around the world. They're posting up there all the time on allbands.com, the DX Engineering blog. Thanks to all of you for watching today. Hope you had fun with Michael, KI8R, part of the DX Engineering family. Until next time, 73 from DX Engineering.
73.